I've come up with a way to totally eradicate this whole idea of rejection in sales. If it's over at hello, how the heck are you going to succeed in selling? You've got to rise above that and change your mindset.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Stump The Guru Show. My name is Ari Galper, and we are here again for another month of our show. As you may know, if you're new to the show, we specialize in trust-based selling. I've been at this for 25 years now. I can't believe it. Still here. We have folks all over the world who are dialing in today, either listening or watching. A few now are going to ask me some few questions. And a bunch of the people also download this as a podcast to listen to whenever it goes live. So if you're listening, welcome. This is a show where people can jump on and ask their toughest questions. They can't get answered on their own. They're stuck with an opportunity. They have a complex situation, something that will not be solved through traditional thinking. This is where people come to get some answers. So let me just start with a theme today, and that's a theme that I thought of the other day, which is called the curse of mastery. The curse of mastery is where you as an expert know your material so well that the minute you find somebody who's interested in what you have to offer or has a problem you can solve, your instinct is to share with them what you know. It's like an automatic instinctual reaction that we have when we find somebody that we feel is a fit for us. We really want to share with them what we know because we know it so well. We want to share that with them. Now, the challenge with that is that triggers for a lot of free consulting, free education, and overwhelm to the person who does not know your material as well as you do. And what can happen a lot of times is when you have the curse of mastery is you can begin to start sharing too much information about the solution, about how your solution works, more than they need. And when you do that, what happens is you get what I call indecisiveness, the inability for them to make the decision to work with you on the spot. So you have to really be consciously aware of you over-educating, talking too much, sharing too much information, and beginning your process from a solution-centric point of view. But if you shift your mindset and shift your thinking to what we call the one-call sale, where your whole concept and model is to go down the iceberg, unpack their issues, do not share with them your mastery of your knowledge, because that is really just a way of you showing them value. And value in itself has been commoditized, which is a big wake-up call for a lot of people. So your unique positioning and your unique approach based upon their issues and how good you are diagnosing them, unpacking them, and dimensionalizing them will be what will get them to trust you, to hire you, not based upon your knowledge, but based upon your knowledge of their issues, not your solution, which sounds so counterintuitive because we're so used to having to show people we know what we know for credibility purposes. But we're now in a commoditized world. People can find an expert anywhere online. And so the last thing you want to do is be in a position where you're trying to prove yourself. On that note, we will get started with the show today, and we'll see what we have back there, and they can jump in and ask a question. So, Steve, who do we have first in line?
All righty, we have the last show of summer for us in the U.S. I'm going to bring on Agostino. Hey, Ago, how you been, man? Long time no see.
I'm great, man.
Know who you are, your business, what you're all about, and then your question for Ari, please.
Sure. So, name's Agostino. I'm based in Montreal, Canada, province of Quebec. Ari and I have spoken over the years. How long have we known each other? 15 years at least?
Something like that, yeah.
I think. And it's just great to be here. Ari, you're ever present in my interactions and this whole mastery thing. I love it. I gotten that part of it right. I think the whole mindset of when I talk to someone now, I remember this. I hear it all the time. You're not trying to make a sale. Right. You're trying to find out if there's a fit. So I feel really comfortable with that. It's like, it makes me not shy to talk to someone, right? Because I'm not trying to sell you, right? And so I think I got that pretty well. So I was thinking, what can I ask Ari where sometimes I'm in a point where I'm not sure, what the next step. So that part I think I have under control. It's the part where I go from transitioning from the iceberg
Okay.
to, okay, what's my next step? Like in my case, I'm in the insurance business. So
Yes.
I may want to do an application. If it's life insurance, of course, I also do group insurance. But right now, let's say I was talking about life insurance for argument's sake. The next step would be to do an application. So I'm thinking, how do I transition from, boy, this guy really does have a problem. And I love this too. Instead of I know I can do a great job. Now, see, I think that's the sad part, isn't it? Because when you talk that way, you sound like everybody else. Even if you know it, you got to say it might be a good idea for us to circle back and yada, yada, yada. So I got that too. But sometimes I don't. Talk to me about the transition from we've gone down the iceberg, and sometimes like I want to do an application on the guy.
Yeah.
How would you transition? Give me a couple of scenarios there, transitioning from
Sure.
that to the next step, Ari, okay?
So what you're missing there is a middle step before the application. It's a meta step because where they have to first feel comfortable, not with you, but with your process. If you jump into a quickly application, that's a very high threshold offer decision they have to make. They have to commit to already jumping right into the whole application process, which is halfway to committing to going forward. So
Right.
you need a middle step between that from the iceberg to that application process, which is what I call a roadmap, where you need a visual tool that shows them, here's my process for how we work from here. Some kind of left to right visual tool that shows them each stage of what your process is with them. Now, I know you have a process now, and you probably explain it to them verbally, but verbally, they don't necessarily connect with you at a deep level if you didn't show them visually. So if you had a visual way to left to right, like a flow chart, to show them next phase is we do an application. Next phase is we wait for an answer. Next phase is we make adjustments. Next phase is we get the quotes. Next phase is literally it's your process that you do automatically, but put into a visual tool because you want them to buy your process conceptually first before they commit to doing your process. It sounds kind of weird because you're like, wait a second, that's just how it works. They do an application, they sign them up. Well, that's fine from your point of view, but from their point of view,
huge. You know what, Ari, I did have that. We worked on that together. And now that I think of it, what I would change is I'd make it more simple because I think I put in too much in that product. I mean,
Yes.
and that's not your doing, it's mine. But now looking at it verbally, I have a simple process. So I need to make it a visually simple process. We do this, we get feedback, that tells us where we stand, and then we
Yes.
can make the next decision. And
See-
that's how I do it. Pretty good job verbally, but I think you're so right. I need the visual, right?
verbally, they don't believe you. They got to see it to believe it.
Right.
What you're saying is not processing in their brain. They don't trust you enough yet. But when they see it, they go, oh,
Okay.
I understand how it works now. That's the
Okay,
missing
so,
piece to bridge
I'm
them
going to do that.
to the next step. Then when you walk them through it, here's what you say. You say, what are your thoughts on the process? And take your fingers like this, put over your mouth, and sit back like a therapist.
Okay.
Don't say a word. Let them sit with it and look at it. And they're going to say, makes sense. And you're going to say, where would you like to go from here?
Ari, I love that. And I think, tell me if I'm on the right track. What I read inside of that also is that there's nothing coercive about this process. It makes total sense, doesn't it? Right? So why would I be worried? This guy's not trying to rope me into something.
Exactly. He doesn't trust you enough yet to commit, but he needs one more thing from you. He needs to see your formula for success. He has to know you will not drop the ball. You can't tell him it. He won't believe you. You got to show it to him.
Hmm. Hmm. And so I'm gonna see if I can get one of your people, because I don't know how to edit the document, but I'll reach out to
Let
somebody
us know.
in your
We'll work
office.
on it for you. No
And
problem.
Ari, one last thing, if you have a moment, or if you don't, then it'll go for
Go
another
ahead.
time. What is the difference in all of that? Because here I am all primed, I'm all ready, I'm getting all the steps together. But now it's been my good fortune that I have a big time tax lawyer bringing me in and
Oh,
speaking crazy like I'm the guru
sure,
about
sure.
me. So it's like I don't need to do a needs analysis. I know what the problem is. It's an estate, it's a tax issue. The tax lawyer already did
It
that.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Don't
Tell me.
make any assumptions.
Okay.
Start with them as if they're cold. Introduction to you is great. You got the lead, but you have to start with. Let's take a step back for a second here.
Do the same. Do the same, in other words, as always.
When you go see a doctor for a second opinion, he doesn't say to you, "Show me the first opinion, and we'll start from there." He says, "We'll start with my process, which is an X-ray, and I'll tell you what to do." So don't just take what you've been given and jump off the back of that. Just take a step back, go down the iceberg, roadmap, and onboard them, and you're done.
Yeah. In other words, to me, it was a different situation. It's almost like he doesn't want me to do a lot of the preamble, but I should still do my process.
You don't have to sell them. Just go through the questions you need to know from them, from their perspective, because they got to trust you first. Just because they trust him doesn't mean they trust you enough to see them, yeah, but not to commit to you.
Questions meaning iceberg.
Yes.
Okay, got you. All right.
All right.
Sure.
Good to see you again, Ago.
Same here. Thanks for having me on.
Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right. We are back with Stump The Guru Show, and you are hearing live questions here from the field, people who have challenges, complexities, trust challenges to help build that connection to make that sale. And of course, as you're hearing, we have a whole different mindset and a whole different approach than the typical sales models you're probably used to. So I'm not sure if you know, but we have new books that are now available at our website, arigalper.com or unlockthegame.com, our Trust a Split Second book, as well as our newest one, which is Are You Chasing Ghosts? You can grab a copy on the website directly, and there's some free copies there as well. You can grab a consultation with us as well and have a chat with us to diagnose your situation as well. So who else we have, Steve, in the back there?
All righty. Up next, I'm going to bring Derek on. And, as always, let everybody know about you and your question for Ari, please.
Yeah, all right, good to see you again.
Hey, Derek, you too.
So just for the audience, I'm enterprise sales. I sell in environmental health and safety software. So I'm going to give you a scenario that I'm facing with the company that I'm prospecting. So
Sure.
I've prospected a whole bunch of stakeholders. Well, not stakeholders, I would say personnel within the company. And they've mentioned, we're unhappy with our current solution for various reasons. But we've gone down this road. We've told upper management to go to market, try to make a change, and they're not listening to us. So I did some more research, and I came across a consultant that we worked with other companies, and he told me who the key decision maker is. And so the background that I got from the consultant is he said, they've been pampered with the current vendor. I don't know why they don't want to make a change. So I guess my question for you is, I want to approach this key decision maker, but not come across as a way like, I'm hearing from your employees, you're unhappy, this and that. It's going to be confrontational. All I want to do is get to the truth.
All right.
I'm trying to figure out some languaging that I can just say, tell me what's
All right.
going on.
I have an answer for you, Derek.
Sure.
You don't want to approach this about changing their solution they currently have. You want to approach this around the current problems and impacts that their current solution is not solving for them. This isn't about changing solutions. This is about you amplifying the issues and impacts of the cause of the problems that are occurring from their current provider. Do you have a list right now of what those impacts are from the company point of view that they have to now take on their plate because of the ineffectiveness of the solution? Do you have that list?
I have maybe a few. I don't know all of them. So
That's the only driver that will cause a decision maker to make a change, by you amplifying the issues and problems and impacts that are now being caused by the lack of effectiveness of their current solution.
mhm,
Rather than you saying, hey, we have a better one. You guys aren't happy. You guys got to change to us. It's
right.
not about you. It's about them. So what you need is to do a video or a document that you extract, you learn from your contacts there, they share with you. Go to your contacts and say this. Guys, walk me through what are the top 5 to 10 issues right now that are on your plate because of this solution not working for you. What's the impact? What do you guys, what more work you're doing now? What's it costing you? What's it costing you in terms of time? What's the impact of the solution you're currently using that's not effective for you? What is it? You need that information. Then you can present that information to the decision maker and say, I spoke with your guys. Here's a report I came up with that details exactly what's costing you and the impacts to your company performance by using this solution is ineffective. Would you be open for a chat?
Mhm. Right.
You got to market the problems, not your solution.
Right.
It sounds so counterintuitive
Yeah.
because it seems obvious that you aren't happy. If you just get in there and give them a minute, say, hey, you'll be so much happier with us. You
Mhm.
really will. Trust me. Guys like, but if you say, I've done some due diligence and I discovered you have 10 issues here that you're probably unaware of that's costing you $25,000 a month in lack of time, your people performance, getting files, getting lawsuit risk, whatever your problems are
Right.
because of these issues. And you have a little grid, issue, impact on a little grid. And you say, would you like to have a 15-minute consultation and chat about ways to address these issues more cost effectively?
Right.
Then you can call them back and you anchor the conversation around the problems, not your solution first.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah.
The only way to remove an incumbent is not to sell them and say you're better. Is to position yourself that you understand the deep issues that are being triggered by the problem that's costing them money they can't ignore anymore. All right?
One quick question, just
Yes.
in regards to that.
Sure.
So a lot of times, Ari, they don't have the numbers in front of them. So I mean, the cost of inaction, or they can't.
It's okay. Just get an estimate.
Yeah.
Ask your guys approximately how much time are you spending a month
Right.
having to search for the documents you can't get the software, approximately. Get a range.
Yeah.
I promise you they have the range in the back of their brain. They'll tell you that range. Just ask it in that way.
For sure. All right. Thanks.
All right.
Appreciate it.
All right, Derek. Take care.
You too.
All right. We are back with Stump The Guru Show. Hope you're listening around the world and you're enjoying this show. You're picking up some new ideas, different concepts, taking notes, understanding that the traditional solution-based models are now defunct, are commoditized. People won't trust you if you sell from your perspective. You have to approach them from their perspective, which requires a different way of thinking, a different mindset. It requires you to be the doctor and then be the patient. You have to be able to understand their issues better than they can themselves, based on the scenario we just gave you with Derek here. So the more you can understand this concept and master it, the faster you're able to trust the people and create what I call the one-call sale process. Anyone left back there, Steve?
All righty, I'm going to bring one more in, and it's Sam, and I'm going to let Sam cook. I don't need to tell him what to do. He knows. So how you doing, Sam?
Thanks, Steve and Ari. Yeah, business consultant. I help people remove roadblocks out of their business performance, helping them see things they can't see themselves on their own. My question, Ari, is that I know the ultimate positioning is to have a book and be the authority in that area. And my question is, I understand the importance of positioning prior to a consult, positioning on people before they even meet me. What might be some ideas from your perspective that I can actually either send to people? I know that we shouldn't be on the email digital landscape to do any of this, but what can I send them in advance that's not a book, but somehow still positions me as an authority, a bit of a go-to, and puts me up different to every other business consultant, which there's so many, but that will eliminate the questions about me when they get on the call? I mean, what would you suggest to be some ideas? The one that comes to mind is testimonials, but that's probably not a great idea. I mean, what do you think?
Testimonials is credibility. Credibility has been commoditized. That has no value anymore, Sam. They can go online, search for 1,000 reviews from Google. It's just to fight against other people's reviews. You're going to have to arrive in a different way.
Right.
And there aren't a lot of ideas, only a couple. And you got to do those two things. One is obviously a book is the most powerful of all, to be sent to them in advance of the conversation, because people, when they're children in school, they were taught to value books. So people value a physical book in their hand. If you get that to them in advance of the conversation, that really eliminates a lot of resistance. Now, if you don't have a book, fine. Then create a video book. Now, I don't mean one of those videos you email to people. You know, not digital. Digital has been commoditized. You know, they can't differentiate you over someone else on their phone. You can't win this war in the inbox. You got to win it in the mailbox because no one else is there. So you probably see in our video books, they just open up like a little book and they play a video, disposable. You can get them online. Search video books online. Place a video in there that describes not you, but describes their problems from your perspective. It's an interview of you discussing their challenges and their problems, so they feel you understand them better than they understand themselves. Right. I'm not talking about like a speaker video reel that shows you on all your credibility and all your case studies. It's like a one-on-one conversation with a therapist and a patient. And they open this video book in the mail, and here you are discussing their life to them and their challenges in such an intimate way. Their instinct says to themselves, this guy just gets me.
Right.
You don't have to have testimonials or anything like that. Obviously, it's nice to have those things, and you should, but it's not the definitive marker that will make you a category of one.
Right. Yeah.
So whatever you do, it conceptually has to be problem-centric, as you know, but it has to be delivered in a way that no one else is delivering their message. Hence why I suggest going offline and using devices like this that no one else in their right mind would ever consider, because it takes some work to create it and it costs a couple of stamps to mail it. People want to do everything for free. They want to hire a marketing person or their social media department and push out content to someone else's servers, which is not even theirs. It makes no sense to me. You want to put it inside the hands of your ideal client, and here's the key to this whole thing. You want 100% deliverability. You want them all to receive it, not arrive in your spam box or compete with you and your grandmother in the inbox.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds so counterintuitive what I just said, but the whole world's going online, and I'm saying go offline. But that's probably why only 10% of 90% of people are successful, because they do things that are opposite of everybody else. And that's what I've been taught to do forever. That's all I know to do. Yeah. So anyways, hoping it helps.
No, that's great. I mean, and I guess going one step further, you'd probably send them, you might even send it, they've got to sign it or something that's priority. You know, it's not just in the normal mail, it's extra mail that they have.
I would definitely send it FedEx or UPS delivery in a package so it arrives with urgency. All people get now in the mail typically is Amazon boxes that arrive and Domino's pizza coupons and a local real estate broker with their picture on it wanting to sell a house. That's pretty much it. Maybe a letter here too. It's empty. Yeah. Why not take it out of that channel? Yeah. So on that note, we're almost out of time here, Sam. Thanks for coming back in again.
Thanks, Ari.
All right.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So hopefully you all enjoyed the Stump the Guru show this month. Feel free to grab our newest books at unlockthegame.com, or my name, arigalper.com, goes the same website. You can grab a copy of our latest books there. Schedule a consultation with us to kind of help you see things in a different way. We walk our talk as we do here live. This is all without a net. And hopefully you'll learn a different way of thinking today to sharpen your game to succeed as the world becomes more commoditized every day. On that note, we'll talk soon and see you soon. Bye-bye.
I've come up with a way to totally eradicate this whole idea of rejection in sales. If it's over at hello, how the heck are you going to succeed in selling? You've got to rise above that and change your mindset.